Right there. I just did it.
Yeah.
And we're live. Yeah, welcome to the B-Sides in the green room. Yeah, Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
JD.
Off guard there.
That's hilarious.
JDR clickety clack. Are we going with that?
Clickety clack, going with that.
I don't know.
I really like the term remote knowledge specialist. That is a great resume name.
It does make sense since I am remote.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So then when you're actually in the studio with us, you would just be our knowledge specialist.
Physically or mentally?
All of the above?
Dude, I love how yeah, I mean, actually that's a good point. But yeah, I love how, I don't know, we can silence ourselves for certain things, and like you just silenced yourself because you were doing a certain thing. And so it makes it funny because we're all like privy to, but nobody knows. And it's just like all silence, and it's freaking hilarious. It's green room.
It's all love.
Which, yeah, hey, I mean, so if we're in the green room, I guess we should talk about how we're switching up our email address, right?
Well, in the near future. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think you will. So in the now, it hasn't changed. But by the time this is heard, in that now, the new now, it'll be actual. When will then be now? So
from the here and now to the then and now?
Well, yeah. So like Spaceballs, when will then be now? Soon. So we're going to be at now soon.
In the now.
Matter of fact, we're right there, right now.
It just happened.
It happened when? Just then. You missed it. When? Just now.
Boom.
It's like who's on first right now, but with Spaceballs. I don't know.
But yeah, hopefully some new and exciting things coming soon.
I think so. We're starting to get like some guests lined up, like legit on the box, but just getting it where, because my schedule is whatever, yours has been changing possibly, and you know she just got added in, so we still got to finagle all that kind of stuff and make it. So you know change is the only thing that is permanent.
That's the only I can still keep one night a week open. Beyond that, I don't know if I can make any promises, but as far as a regular, but we can make a lot kind of squeeze into. I mean, we were talking about doing
a lot squeezed into what?
Quite possibly doing
the who and the what now?
Doing a fully live show directly connected to
fully, man.
Full on, like full frontal,
full Monty. No, yes.
I don't know. As long as you don't start doing that puppetry stuff, that's just really gross.
The hamburger. No, just kidding. The bat wing.
Waiting.
The brain. Oh my God. And then what was the goat?
The goat.
Yeah, the goat was like the end all be all, which that's kind of funny because
I can picture it, and it's just like
the goat was like the finale move where it's like if you can pull that off, you're the greatest of all time. I guess that's why it was called the goat.
That happened right near the end. He was like, "Oh man, you got me. That was good. That was good."
Yeah, that's when Ryan Reynolds is just like, "No, you have to come back here, Mitch. I love you, man. Nobody mess with Mitch. He's a made man." Yeah, he pulls one move off, and he's just like the greatest of all time. Which I guess that's why they called it the goat. And I just figured that out. Oh my gosh, crazy!
The greatest of all time. Yeah, that is the goat. That is true.
And now it's go over any terrain, whatever.
What?
Yeah, I think the new Bronco has that.
Oh,
it's got the goat dial. You literally put it on. Yeah, you can rotate.
Yeah, I'll give you something to rotate.
What kind of party is this? Look at that. It's mashed potatoes.
I now need to take a sip.
Now I need to take a sip.
You know, the shine is good for my throat. I'm talking inside my glass. Is there a problem with that?
I mean, it is green room. Everything's out here.
Who made the truck with the knob?
I'm pretty sure it's the new Bronco. Ford.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
I am not. Ford person.
Yeah, neither do I, but I have one, so I've actually owned several. They're not bad. It's not my style.
You like the Japanese stuff?
I prefer, JDM or the European market. So like, I like right hand drive. This is where I'm going with my life right now. The next vehicle I purchase needs to be right hand drive.
You could get any European automobile and get
not all Europeans are right hand drive. So just because it's a European model doesn't mean it would be. But that's the thing is like in Europe,
like Mercedes, BMW. I mean, if you have to buy it from that market and ship it here, which is, I mean, if you're spending that much on a car, who cares anyway?
Well, there's some already in the States. Well, and that's the cool thing is like, all right, so in order to purchase a turnkey car, literally meaning for you to get in, turn the key, and drive the car, they call them turnkeys. For you to purchase a turnkey car that is out of state or out of the states, it has to be 25 years old because now it's considered an antique and it's exempted across the board. And that's on like safety measures and things of that nature.
You can't do that with a brand new car?
If it complies to all of current standards.
But it's right-hand drive.
Right. Yeah, having a right-hand drive car is not against the law. Like it's not like
no, it's
against
just most
regulations.
People wouldn't want it because you're further away from the center of the road.
Well, yeah, you're on the other side of the car.
Yeah.
Which to me, when you're sitting in traffic, that's the seat to be sitting in.
Where you can look at stuff.
Well, no, now you can actually get to the inside of the lanes and you can just look all the way up.
Yeah.
Because normally when you're in the driver's seat, you try to lean over. There's already 3 other people doing it. So everybody's already pulled over. You can't pull over any further. So you can't see up the head. So instead you just dip out to the right and you just look all the way up traffic.
Or how about when you park, you just step right onto the street? It's like pimping.
On the sidewalk, yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is when you go through toll booths or drive-through windows, you got to drive backwards. Or have a passenger.
I don't know about the toll booth thing going back. Like you pull a Rockford file in like the middle, like right before you hit make sure nobody's around you and just.
I mean, if you're driving a right-hand drive car, I feel like you should probably be able to pull that shit off and just be like, oh, hold on, I got to. And just like.
Just because you drive a right-hand drive car doesn't mean you're like some kind of race car driver.
I feel
you got to throw the coins over.
You're really good at tossing them. That's all.
Well, yeah.
Or just get an easy pass and you don't have to stop at all.
Yeah, so now it's just an issue if you like want to grab some Mickey D's or Dunkin's or something. Just like, shit, hang on. That's all. You just bring somebody with you. Be like, here, order for me. And you pull up to the window and they just look in. They're just like, wait, what's going on here? And they like look over. You're like, hey, what's up? Oh my God, what's wrong with your car? Why is the steering wheel over there? How do you drive like that?
I know this is a really morbid thought, but that would really kind of confuse drive-by artists, you know? Like, I mean, you would actually have to drive and shoot at the same time because you want to have the seat that's closer to the side of the road, right? I mean,
I don't even know why you're talking about this right now.
I don't know why I just started train of thought. No,
it's a good thing this isn't recorded.
My train of thought derails the conversation.
Is that why Capone never had right side drive?
I'm just saying. But suicide doors, absolutely. Because then you can, and just keep driving, keep driving off. Just make sure you stop long enough to close the door so that you don't get it ripped off.
I'm sorry, how did that go again?
It was like a really terrible impression of a Tommy gun, but
what's that? ADD. Oh my dear Lord. That was hilarious.
All right, you do the sound effects. Sorry. Add them in. I don't care.
What am I, Michael Winslow now?
I don't know. Are you?
No, I'm not that good. Dude, he's amazing.
Or you can do the whole helicopter. Bring the helicopter in.
I'm what?
All that. Well, remember do the helicopter.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he could actually get the real. Like, it just sounds like the blades chopping air, and like So I said, dude, he's good. He's really dope.
And like the radio voice, like in the side of the shoulder, like how he cups in the side of his shoulder.
Well, that's more for that's more for animation, so it like draws you in. Well, because it's the same as your brain. Like we were talking about this before with like audio and stuff like that. what you hear isn't actual. It's not continuous like that. Your brain puts it together for you like that. Like how your auditory receptors receive that information. It's on a frequency, which means it's on, off. Your brain just puts it together and it makes it sound like it. That's like when I swear, but I don't really swear. Because I'll be like, yo, what the are you talking about? And it's just like, wait, didn't he? No. But so your brain just fills that gaps in. So
Arc.
well, so that's the thing with like that we were talking like with beatboxing and stuff. That's why you can do a really simple beat, but your brain hears it as like the actual all put together. So you might just be able to do like,
Like how you can sing through the beat.
Right. Because you're filling in all those little other spots and stuff now.
But there's still gaps, but your mind kind of.
Yeah, it makes it sound like everything's still going. Yeah. Science.
I wish I could beatbox right now, but I can't. Obviously, I can't even do a machine gun sound. Tommy gun. I'll have to work on that.
No, you reminded me of I think I said it the other night when we were talking about How I Met Your Mother, where he was like beatboxing.
What it really sounded like.
And he's like, yeah, bourbon. I beatbox really well on bourbon, and he's just like he like they fade back to it, and he's really like breaking down the
room
beat,
like bopping it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's got like his hood up like he's Eminem or some shit. Then he like mic drops, walk out, like high five somebody, and then she's like, I hate to break it to you, buddy. And then they replay how it actually happened. And he's like, boom, ka-choo, boom, boom, chicka-poo, chicka-choo, poo, 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 choo. Mic drop. And he's just like, and I'm out. And like goes to high five somebody and like there's nobody there. And so he's just like, whatever. And like keeps on rolling. Yeah.
Isn't that like in The Great Gatsby where he thinks he arrived like all eloquently and everything, and then it clips back to like reality, and it was like a dumpster fire crashing into everything, like gluing in.
I never read that.
I think they
it's a movie now.
Well, no, that's the Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Yeah,
Wolf of Wall Street, I think.
Well, he also played in. Was it?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was The Great Gatsby.
There was one.
Well, both, but yeah, Wolf of Wall Street, because he's on like Quaaludes from, a couple years ago or whatever, and he's just way wasted, and he thinks he came home like all safe and can be, and then he comes out and looks at the car the next day, and it's just mad trashed with like plants hanging off of it and shit's missing. Yeah, I think it's been done a few times. That shit's hilarious.
Perception.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they also did it in Fear and Loathing, I think. There was a couple scenes like that with.
Can you just hypnotize me so that I feel like I've been fishing all day, or?
That's not what I really do here, Peter.
Good on you, mate.
I don't do. Come on, I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Even that you got the voice down there.
I know. He's just like, wait. So every day is like the worst day of your life? Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
I know. So today's like the worst day of your life? Yep. Wow, that's really messed up. I mean,
sorry.
Hey, you know what we can do here?
Did we lose you?
Do what?
No.
Oh, I just thought of something. Yeah, see, this is why we're definitely gonna have to do a break, because in order to get the counter right, otherwise we'll have to add a counter so that we can run the recording for that and keep track of the time.
Oh,
yeah, we went way over yesterday. Yeah, I know. See, nobody can see this shit. Oh, that looks hilarious.
I was miming. Sorry.
Oh, I don't mime.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was amazingly terrible. That was like the best dad joke ever. But yeah, no. What the hell were we? Where were we at before we got on the whole car crash thing? Oh, filling in the gaps of knowledge and stuff. And then, yeah.
Well, beatboxing and
yeah, but prior to that,
filling in the gaps and not
Yeah, talk on the mic.
Right side driving.
Your right-hand drive cars.
Right-hand drive we were talking about.
How the hell did we get here? Who took a left at Albuquerque?
I mean, Albuquerque?
Yeah, Albuquerque. Dude, that's how messed up this is, man. Like,
Crack me up sometimes.
I crack myself up all the time. Dude.
I want to laugh at you, but you're already laughing.
I can't laugh for you. I've already laughed for you.
It doesn't. That's a stretch, man.
But see, this is why I like the idea of doing already pulled over, because it goes with our whole like, well, I've already tangented. I can't tangent any further. So I think it's just a perfect fit for it. So it's the alternate. It's just the fact that it's like we have all this extra content. We should like do something with this. That's what we're.
I feel
I know there's a purpose behind it. Go ahead.
I don't know. I mean,
You do know. Explain yourself.
well, just like the whole concept of doing a special of some sort in the green room as a warm up, because a lot of times you get, like you would say, you get gold and you really didn't kind of plan anything, or there's very little even in ITY, there's very little planning of anything. But
So we do not plan our conversations. And I think it goes back to
you couldn't script this.
dude, nobody wants to. Nobody wants to write this
Why
crap.
would you want to?
We when we did like any kind of a conversation that wasn't on the mic, those were the ones where we were always like, see, this is the stuff we need to be recording.
But yeah, we missed it.
When? Just now.
Just now.
And I think when we started to turn the mics on with any kind of a structure, are you eyeballing me? Did I do something?
There was a yip
When we
background there with JD.
I mean, it really doesn't, because you're using your earbuds, right? So it doesn't really. Yeah, we're pretty good.
I heard something, and then I saw this face, and just she reached up and
well, that's why it's great that we have mute buttons and stuff. But it's a really, like, doing the whole green room thing is really cool. It was supposed to be like that organic conversation as we started it, which is what I'm telling you is. So I feel like when we started to add that structure, like turn on the mics and stuff, there started to become this rigidity. There was almost this.
The green room. Well, that was the other thing. The green room allowed us to speak with absolutely no restrictions. I mean,
well, with regard to being positive, or like there's still no ignorance or truculence or
truculence.
Yeah,
that was
being overly vulgar and verbose with your language. Yeah, there's no need for vulgarity here.
That was to bring it back to the original, right? Was my
what it's supposed to be. Yeah,
it was was it the second or third episode ever recorded by us where I came up? I think it was the second one where I came up with you called it my manifesto.
So it was the second episode we had ever published. It was the first episode of Green Room, because we did, I'm telling you, and then afterwards you're like, yo, we really need to be recording this. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it, bro.
Right.
So the Green Room was your brainchild.
It's beautiful.
Dude, it is.
And then you're the one that's always referencing, what if this is the show?
I feel like, you know what I mean? Well, so not that we don't get deep in here on topics, but typically we try not to. Like, it's more of like we're just trying to, but that's the thing is like us, when we talk, we never know when it's going to like all of a sudden get serious. It just does.
Right.
It's not an if, it's a when. And I'm telling you, I feel there's that relative sense of structure where some more times than not, it has that intelligence. And, the rarities are when it's just like us being complete assholes, which is almost like a green room, and we're on like 30 different topics.
Oh, I wanted to talk about, I've been reading more of that.
Squirrel.
Just been reading more of that book on.
Dr. Dispenza?
Yes. So I'm
okay.
further along in that book. The one called Being Supernatural. of it.
Yeah, that was the one you were mostly referencing when we were talking about them.
There's a great a great deal of parallels with a lot of other. I think we were talking about spiritual texts. We were talking about, come to think of it, even what's the book on? Is it The Secret? The book on the law of attraction.
Well, The Secret is specifically just the law of attraction. Then there's the follow-up called The Answer, which is how to utilize it, what it is, and how science proves that this idea exists, as well as the ability to reprogram your brain.
But yeah, what was it again? Dispenza?
Yeah, Dr. Dispenza.
Like he goes into great detail about all the functions within the human body and how they're related to the chakra points, which I've heard all that before. So he's drawing definitely from Eastern stuff for a lot of this, but he's relating it to like, can I prove this medically?
Well, because
can I get tangible evidence that this works? And he's coming up, it seems like more times than not, he's coming up with actual physiological changes within the human body based on your ability to maintain, a stiff upper lip, basically, to be able to weather things emotionally, even though you may be going through physical, emotional changes all the time that could be very troublesome, that you're able to kind of, and he goes into great detail about how all these little functions within your body are all based on, whether it's certain proteins that you need to produce within your body, which your body has receptors that can turn on and off depending on your basically your frequency. And I think what I was referring to it before is that when he was describing the kind of the magnetic polarity, like the poles and within the human structure, within the human body, and that his whole theory is that maybe through being able to fix those waveforms so that they don't intersect, that they all kind of spread out from each other, and they're all, it's kind of trying to put a visual thing on something that's I don't know if you could help me with this, JD.
I know what you're talking about.
A lot of the stuff that Eastern mysticism, if you want to call it that, has been telling us for thousands of years. That's why I find it so exciting, is that he's basically drawing a medical. He's able to basically prove or disprove by doing what he's doing, trying to make it a very, scientific, prove it scientifically, in a scientific nature with science. And there's some science in there. Maybe some sciencey stuff. What?
Bill Nye.
No, please no.
Yeah, no. He takes like ancient medical treatments and stuff like that, and brings the science behind it, and actually proves that a lot of them work, and then incorporates it with other different modalities of medicine that aren't traditional now.
Was it I'm trying to think about a protein or enzyme or something that your body naturally produces when you're in a high state of vibration that is actually, I forget what he referred to it as, but it's like, it's the miracle cure for the human body. Like, it's within you, and your ability to produce it. It shows up in your saliva, and you can track how many parts per million or whatever. And one of the things he did was, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but in his 4-day seminars, which is the longest of his seminar get-together, so it'd be like over a long weekend or something, they would track this, whatever, I forget what it was. I have to listen again or read that part again. Or actually, I haven't read to that part
I'm
yet.
pretty sure she's probably looking up the protein right now.
But it was a protein or an enzyme or what it was, but it's
protein or enzyme.
But it's basically a good way to track. If you're
you were
producing a
saying
lot of that in your saliva,
because they were checking for it, and then by the end of the seminar, they were rechecking to see if there was an increase, just to show you.
And I think they said like out of all the people they checked, like 75% had marked, like quite a marked increase in the production of whatever this enzyme or protein strain or whatever was by testing. I guess, I don't know if it was saliva or swabbing or what it was they were doing, but that it was
Okay.
of a scientific nature.
Science.
Yeah. She blinded me with science.
Blinded by the light. Sorry, I had to. You made me do it.
I did not.
You made me.
I wound you up.
Somebody has to. I can't reach the key in the back. My arms aren't that long. Like a T-Rex. Can't wipe my own ass. Yo, I saw this freaking sticker today.
You can't wind your own key. That's the problem.
Or wipe my own ass. It's horrible. Anyway, so I saw this sticker with a T-Rex, and he had like super sad face on. And in letters above it, it says, if you're happy and you know it, clap your ...
Oh,
And he's just like, oh. I was just like, oh, poor T-Rex. But he can't clap his hands.
Honey.
that's why he's running around eating everything, being all angry.
No shit. He can't wipe his own ass. He's got poop just hanging off. He can't clap his hands. It's the worst thing ever.
Right? I mean, what can you do with those things?
Like everything he does, like to eat or drink, he's just got to shove his face into stuff, and then he can't wipe his face. Like, dude, it's just horrible. No. It's see when you understand the environment,
The plight of the T-Rex.
that somebody is raised in, you can see why they would have those reactions.
No wonder he's so angry.
No. Mama said alligators is also ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
Mama's wrong.
Yeah, well, Mama's wrong. No, Colonel Sanders. Mama's right.
You're wrong.
Oh, my God. Dude, he just told you, look at me. I got a wooden spoon. Durr. Oh, God, that movie's hilarious. Oh, I do love me some Adam Sandler, man. Gotta say, do love me some Adam Sandler.
I just had an image of what's his name from Friday running back to his car, like with his arms flailing back. Oh, man, he's just gonna cry for a minute. It's okay.
He going to his car cry.
My mama gave me that chain.
Oh, man. Pops is tripping. He wants me to ask for my bike. Oh, I didn't know you wanted it back, homie. It's right over here.
But you got on my 40.
I ain't got none.
But you got on my 40. Well, you got something. Starts patting him down, right?
Yeah.
Great movie. Great movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. I think I overdid it.
I mean,
I lost count how many times
I'm sorry. I don't know.
I mean, I had at least a half a dozen times I can remember either falling asleep or waking up to that movie because it was being played in the same room I was in.
See, I want to say
like for that year or two time period, it was like if I hadn't seen that movie twice in a week, it was something was off. I don't know.
I want to say if I've seen a movie 3 to 5 times, the likelihood I will always rewatch that movie anytime. Somebody just be like, yo, let's watch this. I'll be like, fuck it. All right, put it in. Very rarely am I ever like, hey, let's watch this movie. I'm like, let's not. Like if it's in the collection and then somebody's just like pulls it up off the shelf, more times than not, I'm going to be like, yeah, let's watch that son of a bitch. It's been a bit. All right, cool.
It's been a bit. It's been a hot minute.
That's how I talk. What's wrong with you? God. Why are you so judgy? Oh, your ice melted. Aw.
Yeah, well,
Now it's moonshine and water.
that's what ice does. So, and it wasn't completely solid frozen either. When I popped them out, you could see
Yeah,
it was
I only did them like 4 or 5 hours ago.
like a little sloshy in the center still.
When you might have grabbed from the other tray, they might have been more,
Oh, the tray underneath.
possibly,
Had I thought of that?
because they do freeze at
Should
different
really
rates.
rotate stock. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I did them at the same time, but because the one being like,
Closer to the surface of the cold.
yeah, the one that's probably getting more, because I rotated them halfway through. Oh, bless you. Oh, buddy. Yeah, you guys can't hear that because she caught it because she's an amazing fact checker like that. She knows how to pause herself out and shit. Good job, little buddy.
Sneezing attack over.
Thanks, man.
Yo, so one of the episodes we did, I think it was like your birthday week or whatever, so you weren't with us. We both did our like outro where we're like peace, and then like I waited for like those 2 seconds, and then I was just like peace to like do yours. I had people that actually like listened, and they were like, "Wait, you mean she wasn't there the whole time and she just didn't talk?" It's like, no, that was me. I did that.
I did that. That was me.
That shit was hilarious.
I'm proud of myself.
So even when you're not here, you're still here because we talk about you in all good ways, of course.
Yes, that's another thing.
Yeah,
too.
I'm gonna have to listen.
We were thrown around the
What
idea.
do you mean? It's just like when I haven't seen Star Wars. What?
We were thrown around or I guess I was thrown around the idea of having a rotating fact checker, but maybe it'll just be like we'll occasionally have a guest fact checker.
Well, I feel like
Because this is kind of working out, and
that's the thing is I feel like Miss JD wants to be the fact checker, right? Like, we haven't even formalized this. We should probably Miss JD. Would you like to be our fact checker? Would you do that for us?
It's such a big decision.
she like looks around the room. I got a lot of responsibilities. I got to balance.
I know it's not you, it's me. I'm really focused on my career right now.
Although this pleases me in a spiritual sense, I know,
right?
I'm not sure.
It brings me such joy to know that you think of me in this fashion. Unfortunately, you're like, oh, not right now. What you're saying is there's a chance.
I don't know, man. No, it's an outside chance.
Yeah, but she still hasn't answered though.
She's just laughing at
Yeah,
you.
Because I'm enjoying you guys debate on which way it's going to go.
Well, see, here's the thing though, is you haven't said no yet. So yeah.
It's always a good way to think of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it's already a yes because she hasn't said no. Mm-hmm.
So the answer is always no until you ask, but yet you ask.
You should ask.
Well, that's why I asked. I have to know.
We got to make it official.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're worthy of like being appreciated and respected. So we should, we can't just assume.
Got to put a ring on it, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Hey.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I
Forgot one.
So is that a yes?
She a goa.
Dude, oh, she's the cutest. Batting her eyes over there, being all like, okay, if that's what you want to do. All right. Damn, she got us.
I thought you'd never ask.
Suckered us right in there, didn't she? Oh.
I guess now we can relax.
Ari.
Relax.
Why wouldn't we? Why aren't you relaxed?
I am relaxed.
So then, I don't understand.
But there was that, that thing hanging over, like originally.
Dude, there was that thing.
Think about.
It's like the uvula.
Well, we weren't sure
it's
if
in the back of your.
When we started doing this, we weren't sure how it was going to work out and whether it was going to be a regular gig. Remember, I was talking about doing rotations within rotations and stuff.
Well, the thing that I thought was cute was we have like a side chat going on where we just go over stuff.
That we can see her video.
Well, no, there was the thing where she was just like, hey, wait a minute. What's with this extra episode? It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's right.
It's like my guy's saying that I got fired. I was like, no, you're not. No, what? You're here. This is your place. You stay as long as you like. Yeah, that was. She's like, wait, what happened? It's like, well, because we had to do stuff.
Yeah.
Plus sometimes, and that was the night where it was like you're like you needed to talk. It was like your talking night period.
Did I do something wrong?
Yeah, no. What? I thought we had a really good time the other night.
I've listened over, and I feel like I was on point. I don't really know what's going on.
Oh,
I was not on that.
No.
Nope.
No tomfoolery. No shenanigans. No hootenannies. No flim flam.
No shenanigans.
Well, about the fact that we wanted you to be the fact checker. We were like, that's how we were.
I love that I just assumed my dad knew.
Well, Well, because I mean, I feel like you all hang out enough that he knows your voice, right?
You'd think.
You think, yeah, right.
Well,
Especially
actually,
when she
I don't know
says
how much
Walmart.
she hears it on the phone.
Well, when you said Walmart,
Well, yeah, because that's what cracks me up. Like you do, like every now and again, you do get that wicked hardcore, a little bit of that like northern kind of thing. Yeah, Boston.
yeah, she's wearing a B on her chest. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no,
I
because
grew
like,
up drinking that dirty water.
well, because I mean, like sometimes you don't say out, you say oot. Like you get more of a like Canadian, like a big north. Yeah,
I'm
because
half Canadian.
well, that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, like. So yeah, no, your northern accent pops out at like
The can
random
part.
moments, and it's just hilarious.
I'm can American.
Are you a mannequin or a mannequin?
What just happened? I don't even. American.
Oh my goodness, dude, my can's all sweaty. Look at that. I'm telling you, that's a great idea. I took a freezer pack and I have it laid down, and my beer's laid on top of the freezer pack.
Or you didn't hear me when you were still out in the hallway, and I was like, oh, your beer is a boo boo.
Yeah, we talked about it. I told you, no, I was keeping it cold. I was informing her because she wasn't there yet.
No, she wasn't there.
She wasn't in the now.
That was in the before.
Exactly.
This is yeah.
We have these, like, you know, like the Yeti mugs, but it's smaller, but it's like a koozie for whether it be a bottle,
Yeah.
or a can, and it like reseals, like,
Yeah, you can use it as a tumbler, or you can put a can
Yep.
or a bottle right into it, depending on which one you got. I don't know. Yeah, we got one of those.
that
too.
keeps it cold forever.
Forever.
It does a darn good job.
Forever.
Especially the cans, because
Nobody?
they sit completely in there, you know.
Sandlot? God.
And it even holds those
We're just going to
skinny
keep talking over
cans,
here.
the White Claws.
The White Claws? I don't do the White
It's like
Claws.
I don't even exist. Is
Well, I'm just saying it's very versatile.
this what it feels like for the
Versatile?
with the three ghosts?
Is it versatile or versatile?
Ursula. Sorry.
Is it aluminum or aluminium?
Aluminium.
It's aluminium.
Because it just sounds doper.
Is it an elevator?
Or is it a
doesn't
lift?
work. It's a lift.
It's a lift. God. Bro.
Do you have any Grey Poupon?
Is it almost over? Are we
What?
there yet?
Are you in pain?
Sometimes I am.
Good.
But it's okay. I signed up for it. Hell, I begged for this. That's what I tell myself sometimes. It just, you know.
Blink once for yes. Are you in pain?
Please kill me.
Does it hurt? Oh wow! Wait,
Hey, Brian.
what movie was that from?
No, well, it was. Yeah.
It was no, but it was originally from a movie. It was
Yeah,
the
because Metallica used it for their one.
Yeah. Oh,
Which was oh god, Justice for All.
No.
Dude, you know what?
Great
So up until their Black album, Metallica, I owned every single one of their albums, literally vinyl. Every one of them. Ride the Lightning
All
and
of
Justice for All. Yeah, Master of Puppets, dude. I had all of them on vinyl.
Nice.
The first one that I didn't buy on vinyl was Metallica, and I bought it cassette.
Oh,
Right? Yeah. I got problems. I'm aware of it.
bringing it with that fresh technology over there.
I mean, I like a needle. Dude, vinyl just sounds better.
What was
There's more depth behind it.
one of my favorite things my brother used to do was like, you know how you'd always test out your sound system, but you'd play like some kind of bass tape?
I mean, we would. Like, yeah, here, put this in. Yeah, no. Feel the bass. And that's all it sounded like. You're just like, oh my God, your head's shaking, your eyeballs are shaking, your internal organs are vibrating to the point of almost rupturing. You're just like, sounds good.
But I'd get in his old Mustang convertible back in the day. I'd get in the usually in the back seat, but
That's what I heard about you.
and the one time I'm the little brother, man. I don't get to sit in the front seat, apparently.
Backseat Betty.
I was like, that's where they put the little bitch. Get in the back.
He would play Enter Sandman. He had it
that
on
was
single.
pretty good.
And dude, that
was a pretty good bass line.
That thing would rock in that car.
So this was the thing. Like, most don't know this.
You want to rock?
You get different preference from your subs with the different enclosures, which would typically coincide with styles of music. So depending on what was your more, pronounced genre, like the one your more preferred genre, that's what you really wanted to get your subs tuned for. And like, people don't realize that. They just think if you throw subs in the trunk, all of a sudden it's just going to be loud.
And Enter Sandman was a really clean cut too.
If you had
that one, it was like, not that there was anything wrong with their older stuff, but like you could
there was
tell
everything right with their older stuff.
Right. Their sound quality.
Like, are you kidding me?
It wasn't hissy at all.
Dude, Anastasia pulling teeth? Like, come on, man. You want to talk about a bass solo? Are you shitting me? Dude, if you haven't heard Anastasia pulling teeth for the freaking bass solo alone, dude, it's like Star Wars. You got to go listen to that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, talking to you. Yeah, Star Wars and Anastasia pulling teeth if you haven't heard that shit yet.
Once I heard the Star Wars, I knew it was referenced towards me.
Yeah, right. You know better by now. See, she's already been hanging out with us enough. She knows it.
Over.
Yeah, she's already pulled over.
She can't pull over any further.
Yeah, she's in the passenger seat of the right-hand drive car, all pulled over.
Should I say, I can't pull over any further?
That's a trick question.
Excuse me, officer.
I feel like we're going to get to this place where one of these episodes is just going to be movie quotes and it's still going to be a full conversation.
Oh, like we just kind of snip them all together and make it into a conversation.
No, like it'll just happen. Statistically speaking, it's bound to happen.
60%
in song titles, same idea.
Yeah, but all movie quotes. It's going to happen. This is a thing.
I've always had the tendency to do that, though.
We both have.
I'll express myself by just busting out in the song because it happens to be so close to what I was going to say anyway. I just, I don't know.
I get that. There's everything right with that.
Sometimes it just, the feeling comes over you and you have to just go with it.
It washed over me like a wrecking. Sorry, I have to.
And actually, I think we're getting to that time. No?
15 minutes, bro. See, the counter messed with you because there was 15 minutes prior for already pulled over.
All right, well, I'm going to have to get up for a moment. You guys can feel free to talk.
Well, yeah, dude, get out of here. I wanted to talk to you alone anyways.
The headphones are off. Here's our chance.
2.
I know. This is what I love about you. Like, you are so on the same wavelength of what we do. Like, it was an instant flow right into it. I appreciate you so much right now.
Well, I appreciate y'all as well.
Oh, you're so. Look
I
at
can
you.
use y'all because I live in the South now.
I know, right? So here's this is what cracks me up about you. All right, so you're up north, and then you go down south. Like, you literally go Mason-Dixon line, East Coast style. I went West Coast to East Coast. Still the same thing. Completely different worlds.
Up until probably 2019, the farthest west I had been was Pennsylvania. Since 2019, the farthest west I have been is Louisiana.
But you have been out of country, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, so, I mean, that's a bigger thing, which this is what kills me about, like, people traveling and seeing things. They either don't do it, only see America, or only see, like, outside of America. And I think you should really do both. Like, you need to, as a national of any country, know your country as well as other ones, too. Like, everybody should just travel. Like, we really should.
Traveling is definitely always on the radar. Whether time can be taken or finances work is different. Not.
I don't know.
I like going places I can just drive too. So I literally drive up and down the East Coast from Maine to Florida.
So I would you still have family that's up north or whatever? Yeah,
my entire family is still up there.
Oh, okay. Well, so, I guess, all right. So when his dad and them moved down, like that was just like, oh crap, there's family near us now.
Actually, I didn't live down there yet when his parents moved down. When I moved down, I actually spent the night at his parents on my trip down. But they had only been there for like a year or so before I moved down. And I just packed up my car and was like headed to South. And when I moved to South Carolina, my mother and her family were living there, and then had moved and then had moved back. And they was like to play the bingo game with the houses between the North and the South. And then I happened to marry somebody in the military. So I got moved from my favorite spot to other southern states. And now I'm in a northern southern state.
A northern southern state. That's like a walking irony. What the? Oh, yo. You wouldn't grab snacks. You little.
I grabbed a quick snack.
Yeah, well. Well, so like, we were talking about this earlier. So when we had our conversation, I was talking about Seaspiracy, and I was like, yo, I think I'm going back to like being like all vegetarian again. I went shopping today, and I legit shopped all vegetarian. Like I am not bringing any more meat into my house for me at all. I mean, my kid still does, so I'll get her like lunch meat or something, or I'll cook her some chicken or whatever. But for me, like I'm back to like all vegetarian 100% now.
Good. I mean, my
Dude,
husband
I did it for 18 years.
Yes, you did. Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You did?
Yeah, I was a strict vegetarian for 18 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've been right now 31.
Yeah, it wasn't until I went back to getting into chefing, like doing restaurants and stuff again, where I was actually legit like the head chef or the kitchen manager, like where I'm running the recipes and all that stuff. So when I got back into that part of, I decided at this point, I was like, you know what? I need to at least taste my recipes. And it's like, well, if I'm already tasting it, then if I'm okay with it. So it's like, 3 or 4 or 5 times a week, I would consume meat. And it's been like that for about 6 years. But yeah, I did that for 18, and now it's like, you know what? No, I'm back to that because that's the way to live. It's not even like a health thing; it's an emotional thing. It's my moral.
It is very much so.
Yeah, it's my moral duty back to the universe and the world is to not tread on it.
And it's a part of taking care of your temple, your body.
Well, so this is the thing I love. Shaolin monks. Shaolin monks are vegetarians. And they train hard as shit and they build mad muscle. Like you see those crazy things on like YouTube or TikTok and all that stuff. Them cats is doing it vegetarian style. It is possible.
Now, are you still eating eggs?
Yeah, I'm ovo-lacto.
Have you gone?
No, ovo-lacto.
Okay,
I'm not going vegan.
Well, okay, this is why I asked. Because for the first like 29 years of my vegetarianism, I was Octolovo, but I like dairy way more than it likes me. So I have cut that out and found amazing products from ice cream cheese, sour cream, cream cheese, like coffee creamer, everything you can imagine to substitute cheesecake, everything that tastes awesome because I would not have given it up if I had not found a equal tasting product. And things have come a long way since I became a vegetarian. But
yeah, right.
And recently I went vegan, and my husband normally, before meeting me, never really ate red meat. He always chose turkey or chicken or seafood. So now when we go to the store, instead of getting lunch meats for his sandwiches and stuff, he'll end up getting like the vegan lunch meats instead by choice because I don't eat the lunch meat. But yeah, he is swayed his eating habits after finding more about nutrition and how it works with your body and stuff like that as well to be healthier. And he's noticed changes too.
My vegetarian stuff, like from way back when I did it, because I was like 18 when I started, or like 17. I did it because it was really like my moral duty. Like I'm just like, I don't need to destroy in order to coexist. So it was more of like that taking of a life, or, like it's literally like a moral ground. Like I couldn't do it anymore.
I appreciate that. Mine is not that nice. Mine was just person in my house who was in charge of cooking meat, liked it very well done, and I didn't like chewing it that long, so I just gave up at the age of 6.
That's funny.
I was like, no, thank you, I'm done.
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, well, see, and that's my thing. That's why I always do, like, when I did go back to eating for 6 years, to me, it was just like, yeah, death is yummy. I really like a steak. Like, it's bacon's good. But yeah, no, it's, yeah, after watching Seaspiracy, like, I have to do it. Like, it's just with where I've been and where I've been going as far as like wanting to grow, transcend, like all that kind of stuff to move forward and be positive and truly coexist with all things. It's like, you know what? This is what's right. I gotta do that.
I think the thing that
gotta do what's right for you.
The thing that pushed me over.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta do what's right for me. And that's why I don't push this on anyone. This is my choice.
Right. Yeah. The thing that pushed me over the edge for doing it this time was I was reading a book, and I'll have to look up the name of it at some point, but basically the book was written by a guy who was trying to have his Kundalini experience, basically.
Do you want to play with my Kundalini?
And he was explaining how how and why he started systematically removing animal proteins of any type from his diet. And he said all the discoveries that he bumped into in researching all this stuff. And I think that's the first time where, before seeing Cowspiracy, where it became very clear after going through this experience with him, that it's not sustainable the way that our culture, how much meat that we consume and how unhealthy that is for not for just our physical bodies themselves, but for the planet, which is the extension of our physicality. I mean, that's still part of us. We are from, we don't come into this world, we come out of it. Trees, fruit, they bring apples, whatever, peaches, but the planet, peoples.
Millions of peaches for me.
The planet, peoples.
Peaches come in a can. They were put there by a man.
In a factory downtown.
Boom, boom, boom. Sorry. No, but there's a really good book that goes along with that. It's actually written by John Robbins. He was the next in line to inherit the Baskin-Robbins franchise. And he was brought up his whole life to take that spot. And when his time came, he turned it down because he didn't agree with the American diet and how
much dairy we consume. A lot of it,
how much dairy we consume, how much eggs, how much red meat, a lot of different things. Also dealing with factory farming, the pollution that all of this creates throughout the feces of the animals that contaminates the ground, the water, etc. But he also is a vegetarian or a vegan. I don't know which one off the top of my head. But he practices it and he lives it, and he gave up his entire family empire to educate people on what they're putting in their body and how it's affecting the health. And it's for science and research purposes. It actually blew my mind with certain things like, the pyramid. It was all created by the suggested that you need for meat was actually given to the government by the meat.
It was all from the
people who control
the agri councils and the dairy councils and the
everybody who had stakes in it, and they were trying to.
Pun not intended.
And it's not that I'm against, and that's the thing that I have trouble explaining, is that it's not that I'm against people consuming the flesh of an animal. It's the way that we do it, and that it's harmful to everybody involved. And that, like you said, I don't put it on anybody else because you should be happy that I don't eat meat. It means that much more steak for you. So I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm not going to be like a food Nazi or anything like that. Like,
no soup for you. Oh wait, that's a different Nazi. My bad.
Soup Nazi. That's the different.
But
thing.
if you were interested in this book, it's called Diet for a New America, and it was written by John Robinson.
Don Johnson?
What?
Robinson Crusoe? Christopher Robbins? Robbins Diamonds? I don't know where we're going with that.
You know, I think where we're going with that is we got to take a break.
I think this train is running out of steam. We need to take a break.
we need to take a break.
Someone needs his double noodles.
He does not.
That would be bad, actually.
He never needs double noodles.
The amount of carbohydrates in what I'm drinking right now.
Carbohydrates? Yo, carbohydrates. What? Yeah, they make you more of a bro. Carbohydrates.
Oh, you got me.
You did it to yourself. I just, you know, you assisted. I just put it in the hole.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. whatever train that was already derailing is completely derailed, and
we're already pulled over.
I think it's that time when
we can't pull over any further.
Take a quick break, but
let's do that.
But if you want to reach out to us,
I don't know. We'll wait, maybe, because I mean, I guess technically it should be.
Well, no, but if you want to reach out to us for now.
Well, no, because that's by the now.
Oh, that's what we're okay.
Yeah,
it could be the then now.
So it should be ITY at directionsandmusic.org.
Right, ITY at directionsandmusic.org if you want to reach out to us and drop us a line, make fun of this guy.
Technically, by then, we should also have your email, which would be Gemini at directionsandmusic.org.
Right, and Philly D.
Yeah, Philly D. That's a double L. I get to keep the double L, bro.
There you go.
PHILLYD at directionsandmusic.org.
But in Spanish, wouldn't that be like a double Y?
So there's like a lot of Y's. Fee-D? No, I sound like I'm Taiwanese or something.
That's terrible.
Oh my God.
Oh. Don't do that again.
It goes for you making fun of Danny Trejo.
Yeah, Danny Jajo. He sounds French now. Can I see Danny Trejo?
Oh, America.
Yeah, see, I'm a mannequin.
I do what I want.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, but we're gonna take a break and then we're gonna come back and do what I'm telling you. So yes, Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
JD.
There's always that little delay.
And of course, as always,
it was the B-sides in the green room. So thanks for listening. Be good to yourself, be good to everyone else. Peace.
Much love. Peace.
Peace.